Hello everyone, Kenneth Howling here. If you saw my video from a couple of weeks ago, I made a program that acts as a library, uh, basically a catalog for a library, things to help people search books, check out books, etc., from a library that I simulated in a JSON file. However, this week I wanted to expand on that last project and instead the connect the or simulate the library with a much more flexible database SQL. So this week I've moved all the data that I have from a JSON file into an SQL database, or actually I'm about to do that. So the first thing to talk about here is if you see this code right here, I've created a new class called Database Manager, which helps me to interact with an SQL database that I've made in MySQL right here. As you can see right now, the book table is completely empty, as is checkout times, checkouts, and users. All these are completely empty because I actually cleared them out. Because I wanted to show you guys this first bit of code that I have written here, which if you want to ever copy this code from my GitHub repository, you'll need to run at least once, but then I'm just going to end up commenting this out because I have the JSON file still right here or no, sorry. Oh, it's in data. It's in the bin. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's right here. Because I've pulled all that from an API and it needs to be uploaded. But what I need to do is I need to put all the data from that JSON in the SQL, which this code does. So I run it, and after a second, all right, that means it's all done. So if we go back to the SQL, we refresh thing and we go to books now, we see that we have all these books now. So great, we have the SQL database downloaded. We do not need this code anymore unless we ever need to reset our database. So I'm just going to comment this out. And then we're going to take these two lines down here, library, new library and library run. And we're going to run this now instead, which will run the rest of the program. Then we can see what other features that I have made to interact with this database that I've created. All right, cool. So first things first, just want to show that the view all books function still works. We got all that still. Now, if we want to search for a book, the search function is a little bit more flexible here. Hasn't changed too much. You can still only search for a title or an author, but it'll it's a right now everything's pulling from the SQL database. The JSON file is no longer interacted with at all. So every single function is pulling from that database. If you can see this DB right here is this initialization of the database manager. And as you can see, I don't have any lists uh, of books pulled from the JSON file anymore. But now if we want to check out books, this is where we can actually start seeing things done in SQL. Um, check out that first book again. That's all I need. Now I'm going to put my name, Kenneth. I'm just going to put a random string of numbers, one, two, three. Doesn't need to be a real phone number. And books completed. So now, if I want to see this checkout, it says, oh, look, I've checked out a book. And the item I've checked out in this other table here is book serial number one, or The Iron Heel by Jack London. But the other cool thing about this is this users table here. So now I am in this users table, Kenneth, with my phone number 123. But before, whenever I returned a book, the user would be deleted. But now if I return a book, with my name, my phone number, following books will be returned, books returned successfully. Cool. Now if I go back and I refresh this, we can see that the checkout is now empty, but the users are still stored. So it's like I have a library card now. I am always in the library's database unless things get reset. So that's the checkout function. The last thing that I wanted to show is I've added this delete book and add new book function as well. So I can actually add a book and delete a book from the library. Well, actually, I'm going to actually first add a book and then delete it so that I know what I'm doing a little bit. So let's just real quick. Yeah, we First, let's add a new book. Under serial number 999. There's nothing with that serial number yet. Enter title. We'll just put title, author, Kenneth. Enter language. It's going to be in English. And book edit successfully. So if we look back at the SQL database, we go back to books, and we go all the way down right there. It's been added. And then last but not least, this delete function here, we can delete that book again, enter serial number 999, enter title. Oh wait, oops, I chose the wrong one. Ugh. So let's try that again. All right, this time make sure to type in 6, enter serial book to delete 999. The book has been deleted, hopefully. Let's double check. Go back to books, scroll all the way down, and it's gone. So there we have it. I have successfully migrated all my data into an SQL database, and now everything runs from there. Thanks for watching my video. Check out my GitHub repository if you want to try this yourself. Thanks for watching.